Today's March 18th, 2019, and this is episode 76 of PlaneSavers. Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful day here. It's a Monday morning here in Red Deer, Alberta, Canada. It's above freezing, which is nice. So whatever unit of measurement you use, it's above freezing. I'm excited. This is the first time in 2019 that it's been this early and this warm for me, so super excited. So behind me, we got BAQ is coming out of the hangar. So I got a time lapse set up for that. Hopefully show you guys that. My father, we got the Baron over here. He should be leaving today. Yeah, so we got some excitement stuff going on. Ronnie's working on the engines, so this is super cool. So I want to thank again the volunteers all weekend. Man, it was a hard weekend, and hopefully everybody had a good St. Paddy's Day Sunday night. Yeah, so let's get today started, and let's see what kind of mischief we can get in today as we're getting that C-can ready to go to Montreal. Okay, folks, so we're in Ronnie's little engine area here. To clarify some stuff, yesterday, this engine right here is an engine we were going to use. It's off DTB and it has the blower damage in it. So the engine that we brought in from on the Electra is the new number 2. Ronnie was hiding an engine, an old engine from, was it PNR?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is our second engine. Our other engine's back there. So Curtis worked all weekend and got all the lines and everything all done. Ronnie's just finishing up some lines, and then once this engine is stripped, it goes into storage and will be sent out for overhaul if needed. But yeah, so that's kind of just clarifying some stuff from some other episodes. Another thing I want to clarify a little bit is the carburetors. So there's a lot of comments about stealing the carburetors from another D-Day machine. Why aren't you guys flying that D-Day machine? And I'll probably get into that more a little bit later. But these carburetors are about $5,000 a piece. And they only went on one flight. And that was from Edmonton to here, which is less than an hour. So they're wasting away on that aircraft. ROD probably won't fly this year, maybe next year. In fact, it's perfectly pristine the way she is, and should be, it's a time capsule basically. But I'll get into more of that later. So the one thing I want to clarify is there's $10,000 worth of carburetors that we can use to get our Montreal airplane ready to go. And so basically, if you think of it, it's yeah, we got to keep the costs low. So there's no use getting new carburetors, and we can use that $10,000 for the logistics and shipping C-cans and volunteers and apartments and fuel and all the other stuff. So yeah, so it's really cool that WZS and ROD, both D-Day machines, are lending parts to the Montreal bird. And then some of the comments I get is, it doesn't make sense. Why do you guys need more DC-3s? And really nothing ever does make sense. So these, you got to think of it this way. I bought the DC-3 and we're getting it all running. So yeah, does that make sense? No, nothing ever makes sense. The big picture will make sense, but yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying this stuff, because we're certainly working hard. And if we just needed to get WZS or ROD, it'd be like 3 episodes of YouTube. And yeah, so anyway, hopefully that makes sense. That's rambling time, but yeah, let's get into some more exciting stuff and show you guys a little bit more what goes on here in Red Deer. Well guys, I just had to stop. Hopefully you can hear me. Look at this. How many Electras can you fit in one shot? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Electras in one shot. Isn't that cool, folks? Very, very sweet. So I just had to show that for you guys. Hope you like that. Okay, folks, we got a special surprise. Buffalo Joe is opening up ROD, the D-Day bird, so you guys can see what a Canadian C-47 looks like, as this aircraft has not been changed since my father bought it in 1980 from the military, actually. So this is, yeah, check it out. So So then, what do we have here? Oh my lordy. What do we have?
Well, we don't have Lord in here anyway, Lordy. We have a stock military DC-3. As we bought it out of the military, we bought it out of the military in 1980, Saskatoon. We flew it from Saskatoon to Hay River. And then it stayed in storage there for 15 years. Brought it to Red Deer, stayed here for 10 years. We flew it to the museum in Edmonton. Stayed there till they closed the airport in 2012. Then we flew it back here. So it's flown 4 times in 38 years. Ronnie and I were the only ones that have flown this airplane since the military had it. But what happened was we bought 4 at the same time, and RTM and JCAM and PNR all became converted. It takes Ronnie and I 4 to 6 months to take all the military stuff out, put all the civilian stuff in, especially Arctic stuff like heaters and skis and winterization gear. Lights the airplane up by about 2,200 pounds from military to civilian. But as we did each one, we got busier flying them. And one day we were so busy flying we didn't have time to do this one. And as time went on, I realized it'd be better left in stock military. It's like a barn find of an old Mustang in somebody's barn. It's better original. So we left it original, and the National Film Board bought it in 1999 or 2000 to make that film Lost Over Burma. And that's the life of the airplane now. She's had a real good life as a stock military bird. She still has, anybody who wants to go back in time, it still has a Morse code. When I was coming across Canada with it, Ronnie and I were playing with this. I was making SOS, SOS, dry land ahead, dry land ahead. So this is a 4-seater airplane. So there's 2 pilots, a navigator, and a radio operator station. And that this is the way it was when the military had it. They used 4 men to fly it and operate it. And she's stock military panel. Everything on the airplane is totally stock. It's what it would be called NOS, new old stock. And she'll stay this way because, as far as I can see now, everybody's converting them so fast and putting them into commercial use when they're coming out of the military. The military had 80 of them in Canada. This is the last that I know of that's still military. You know, it's still as it was the day we picked her up. So 38 years went by real quick. Another 38 years she'll be a real museum piece. A lot of people identify with it.
Oh, take it. So what's we got up here? What's this area?
Well, this is where the navigator would have sat. This was where the nav table was, and he navigated the airplane. Back in here is where the radio operator would have sat, and he did all the radio communication. And then the military had this one converted back as a nav trainer, so they were training navigators. This is their 2 stations, and that's their work table. So the only thing that we did is we took the old military upholstery out of it because it was starting to get very wet, and I didn't want it to corrode. This is where the Astrodome was. We stood up here. There was a thing you stood on, and then you navigated. And the drift meter, well, Ronnie took the drift meter out or not, but it had a drift meter in it for the navigator to measure his drift. So, oh, there's the nav. Yeah, that's what he stood on there. And if people don't know what see, there's the size of military radios you had in that day. Today, the radio wouldn't weigh half a pound. It'd be just a computer board. But this here, people recognize that as the drift meter. That's what the navigator used to sight down and see how bad you were drifting, and then he could figure out his course. So that's a drift meter. This is the Astrodome that goes on the roof. So it's even stuck there for the astral compass to take shots of the stars or the moon or the sun. I'll just put this back up here. But yeah, when we flew it, the 4 times we flew it, she flies very nice. When we took it into Edmonton to put it in the museum, they want to borrow it. I flew around Edmonton for a while because I didn't want to land. It flew so nice, we just kept circling the city. But so many people have from the military like to come in and enjoy it, look at it, and take them back when they were in the military, because it's all military stuff in here.
Cool.
What else you want to know?
I think that's about it. Thank you for the tour. Yeah, that's pretty good. I hope you guys liked that little bit of a surprise tour of this thing. Of this airplane. Dan, what's your thoughts on this thing being one of the main D-Day airplanes?
Yeah, I can see it. It's you know, they were all you know, lend to Europe during the war. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me that it wasn't D-Day, but it'd be nice to know and go back and reflect on what it did that day and where it was doing and how it was, compared to what it is today. So it is a survivor. That's what they call a survivor. Anybody wants to come to Red Deer and have a look at it, well, you know, we put this on and they can see it. That's navigating,
Cool. Right. That's awesome. Stella, what do you think?
One of the coolest ones I've seen so far.
Yeah, go sit in the seat and get your picture taken.
Well, I just want to take a quick second to thank my father for giving us a tour of that ROD. Very, very cool. And yeah, one day she'll be flying, but right now she is donating her parts to the cause, to getting our airplane going. And speaking of our plane going, Ronnie is working on the engine. And Ronnie, how's the carb going?
It's finished, basically done.
So the carb's all on, it's all complete. And then you're going to permanently mount the scoop.
Yeah, yeah.
And
we're gonna put it on a pallet tomorrow and then load it in a sea can. We're ready for shipment.
so for the people at home, what do you need now for it to go on the aircraft?
We just gotta hang it. We'll take it down there, hang it on the firewall, bolt her on, and then start hooking everything up.
So all these hoses
All of
here
them, yeah.
all go to the firewall,
Yeah.
and there we go. All right, thanks, Ronnie.
Okay.
Okay, folks, there's today's episode. It is, I think, just about 3 o'clock. So I'm going to finish editing this episode, get it uploaded, and then tomorrow, if my father's still around, because remember, he was supposed to leave today with the Baron, but he didn't. And tomorrow, if he's still around, let's take a look. And maybe we do a little bit of a Car Savers episode. Like, what is that? We'll figure out tomorrow. See you guys, and hope you enjoyed this episode. Like and share, subscribe, all that fun stuff if you haven't already. Well, my GoPro died right at that one moment, so I just wanted to say thank you for watching. And Stella, you want to say the goodbye?
Goodbye, see you tomorrow.